Okay, we're back again with another action-packed edition of sports this morning, reaching you from Channels Television Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Austin Okunakwan. Welcome on board. It's Boxing Day, so I should begin by saying Happy Boxing Day. But then I'm saying to myself, what's the essence of Boxing Day? To people outside sports, it's a day to actually show some love, get gifts, give to people around you. But for us in sports, so long there is boxing attached to it. Then it's Boxing Day, so go out there, see some boxing, and we in the sporting world will celebrate boxing. That's what we'll try to do today as we take a look at the 2013 Governors Belt Boxing Championship that's kick-started in Lagos in the year 2010, and then this is the fourth edition, third edition, and then the Lagos State government are using that championship to develop boxers and then nurture them. We'll take a look at how Mr. Tulu Bank Anthony is Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Sports Endowment Fund. He'll be with us in the studio to talk more on that. And just to let you know that as the year 2013 finally comes, gradually comes to an end, Coach Stephen Keshi is still trying to put together a formidable team that can travel to South Africa for the 2014 African Nations Championship and bring glory to Nigeria. Remember, South Africa is a good ground for the country, and Coach Stephen Keshi is trying to make good use of the CHAN Championship to actually make the home-based players give them quality and then put up a good championship. I don't talk much today. It's Boxing Day, so quickly let's see the fight between Manny Pacquiao and Brandon Royce, and then we'll come back. We'll talk some more. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports This Morning on Channels Television. Stay.
Retain the IBF Featherweight Championship. Down there now because he's from just a tough
changed when he became king of the world, and when he first came to these shores 12 years ago, and he just...
Then in this one, Manny Pacquiao from the get-go to the end. It was all Manny. Brandon came, Brandon saw, but Brandon did not conquer. Pacquiao did all that. Slick foot movement, great conditioning, better hand speed. He beat Brandon up, a frustrating that by the too few of them. And then right back up to Manny.
The questions that emerge.
Manny Pacquiao gets yet another belt, and we'll see where his career goes from here. But it won't be the end of Manny Pacquiao.
That's it, Manny Pacquiao after defeating Brandon Bam Royce. A good one for the Filipino. He said he dedicated that victory to the Filipinos that were in that typhoon wave. Talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago that Manny Pacquiao defeated Brandon Royce. Okay, let's come back home. I said earlier, the 2013 Governors Belt Boxing Championship gets our attention today on the show. Mr. Tulu Bank Anthony, he is the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Sports Endowment Fund. He joins us now to talk about the 2013 Governors Belt. It's good to have you on the show, sir.
Good morning. Compliments of the season.
Compliments of the season. And then for a minute, I thought since we're talking boxing, I could just start with a punch and say, well, all right, it's good to have you on the show. Okay, before we get talking, just to let you know, you can also talk to us. We're very, very active on the social media. On Twitter, we're Channels_Sports. On Facebook, we're Channels-Sports. What do you want to talk about? It's Boxing Day. Get us talking. Send your comments, questions, or suggestions. We want to hear from you. Okay, let's begin. The 2013 Governors Belt Boxing Championship.
Yeah.
What do you want to achieve with it?
Well, what we want to achieve with it and what we have been achieving with it. This is the 4th edition, 2010, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
And we are nurturing our boxers. We are taking them to the next level of boxing, the amateur boxers. What we've been doing before we got to that stage is that we have been putting a lot of shows, boxing shows. We've had 48 boxing bouts. Every last Saturday of the month, there's a boxing bout. We built an hostel for boxers in Surulere with a gym. You understand me? And the Governor's Belt is after all these bouts. You get to a level, those who have qualified, the good ones come out and showcase themselves.
I see. Through the Governor's Belt,
and they are rewarded. And you know Fijabi very well.
Like this, my
that is it. So I mean, he was the last winner of the Governor's Belt.
Okay.
You understand me? And of course, after the Governor's Belts, we have an arrangement between the club in London called the Repton Boxing Club in London.
Beautiful.
Right, and the Lagos Boxing Hall of Fame. Our boys just came back in October. They went over to England. About 13 of them went. We won 5 medals on that trip. And that is part of the effort.
Yeah.
Right? We are putting into boxing in Lagos. And the Governor's Cup is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It has become a yearly ritual for us now that every Boxing Day, the governor will sit with the audience in Roe Park and we watch good boxing like we used to do before the days of Obisa and Wakpa, Tony and co.
Tell me.
So we are doing that today, right? The publics are invited and the boxers is another level, another exposure to them. That after this tournament, where we have technical coaches, we have technical officers who are always on ground to take them to the next level. It's a major package of program we do, training coaches, training the boxers themselves to take boxing, to make it rewarding, you understand me, for our young
because I mean, if the amateur boxers know that there's a bigger reward like traveling to the UK to get fights, you know, other boxers get exposure, then they will take you really seriously. But let me talk to you about this. I know Lagos State government are trying to develop boxing, but when I meet some boxers, I can't talk to them. The problem of education is a big challenge. What is the Lagos State government doing to not just teach them how to box, to also educate them, you know, so that they can have a good reputation?
You see, does Pakai, does he speak English?
It tries to.
Well, it tries to.
Yeah.
That is it. You say, you understand me. He's a world champion. Talking about local breed coming up. English is a language of Tyson. That is the only thing he could speak. If you speak to them in Yoruba, they will answer you. You don't expect a graduate to be in the boxing ring. You say, you understand me? With time, understand, I believe those in the hostel are being given that added value to communicate. You understand me? But the point is that I want you to understand that we need to, in this country, start feeling very comfortable in speaking our language or having. You need that to interpret.
I guess what you're saying, but what I'm saying is some level of education that can even assist their career, you know, taking it because one of the Klitschko brothers is a PhD holder, you know, and that is a good plus. I'm saying that is there any way the Lagos State government can combine education with boxing?
You see, the point is that boxing is one sport that is very difficult to manage with education. So you understand me? Boxing is a sport that has had so many criticism over the years. Do you understand me? Boxing is a sport that, you know, most people into boxing is even worse. People in boxing are worse than footballers. Do you understand me? That is it. So the point is that in as much as you want to bring those boys on your show, you understand me, it's always good to expose them raw. Right? They will struggle, but they will make their presentation to the public. So you can see your son or my son will not be a world boxing champion. You understand? Because the formative years of a boxer, if you want to be a good boxer, you must be in the ring by 12, 13. So you understand me? But I want them to be in class, to be reading. That is the difference. So it's an opportunity cost. But when they grow older, they need to educate themselves, they package themselves, because that is when that is their pension. When people will not call them to talk about boxing, about their career.
Beautiful.
That is it like there.
Because for them to even be role models, they need to have
that is why you see Anamokachi today. You understand me? He can present himself, he can stabilize, talk about football in a very expressive manner. And than those before them.
It's a coach, assistant coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You need some level of education to get. You see, because for me, I'm looking at these boxers and like I see very good talent in Olaide Fijabi.
Of course.
But I'm saying that he could go abroad, do very well, and someone might say, oh, let's adopt him in this, you know, talent program or something. He needs to have some level of education to
I'm sorry to use Fela Colonial mentality. I mean, if Fijabi is a good boxer and he can go to be a better boxer, you understand me? The language thing is secondary. Do you understand me? When it's there, you understand me? It will. I remember Joe Lasisi, former Commonwealth champion, Dele Jonathan. Do you understand me? Oganjimo. They were struggling. Dele Jonathan was probably one of the most civil in education in that part. Though Lasisi was a custom officer, he was still struggling to express himself. Oganjimo, the bomber, he was a terrible person. But you see, that is why we don't see them these days. But if you look at Obisa Ewapa,
very good.
Obisa is okay,
and it's out there.
Tony Anderson is okay.
Fantastic.
You understand me? So after the whole thing, you need to repackage yourself and their background.
Yeah.
Obisa was in the army or what? Obisa was in probably a profession in Nigeria, and boxing was his second thing. Lasisi was a custom officer when he was boxing at the same time. So they have a background that can propel them to have a better communication skill in English language. If that is the language I'm talking about, in Yoruba language, Fijabi can do better as well.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Today there will be what should we be expecting when we come to Roe Park?
Very exciting, refreshing audience. You understand me? That's become a yearly ritual. People come there from far and near. Even we have an exhibition bout today. A female will be there as well today. Okay. To box. You understand me? Yes.
They'll fight.
Of course.
Beautiful.
I mean, don't forget that in CAD 2000, we were probably 2010 rather. We won the highest medals in boxing, even in the female category as well. And we have an exhibition bout today coming up. There, the governor will be there with us, and we are coming there to see and improve our facilities of boxing.
I like that. So tell me, how has this tournament helped in the development of boxing in this country?
Well, you see, like people say, what we do in Lagos for sports, for what we've been doing in Lagos for boxing now, for the past few years, is unprecedented. Do you understand me? And it will amaze you. And one of the driving force behind this thing is an ex-commissioner, a technocrat, Mr. Wale Edu, right? Yeah. Who is the Lagos Boxing Hall of Fame. He was even an amateur boxer himself. So and what we are doing, we have so many things lined up, even to do for boxing, taking up coaches for training abroad.
Cool.
Our next stage to do most of these things that we are doing, we are not just sitting down that, okay, we have done it. We are looking at boxing from school age development. You understand me? That will capture what we are talking about.
Yeah.
We are going to the schools to look at how to create a boxing club in that environment that will, at least they can talk to you in your studio. Those are from the schools. You understand me? We are not only taking them from Mushin, that something you can do better through boxing if you come into boxing. You can live this life and live a better life. So in so many ways, you understand me, we are trying to make boxing attractive, right? To bring boxing back to those golden days we used to have in Lagos before, where you and I can come and watch boxing.
I must say, I appreciate you for coming
Thank
on
you
the
very
show
much.
today. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
today.
much.
Okay, that's it. Satunde Bank Anthony is the executive secretary of the Lagos State Sports Endowment Fund. And we've been talking about the 2013 Governor's Belt Boxing Championship. If you love boxing, it's Boxing Day. Find your way to Roe Park to start by 3 p.m. in the afternoon and just go there and see some good boxing. Okay, let's go on a quick break now. We'll come back. We'll talk football, basketball. But in football, remember, there are games today in the English Premier League. And Liverpool, surprise, surprise, after Christmas, they're still on top of the table. Who made it happen? Luis Suarez. Let's watch this report on Luis Suarez and then we'll come back. We'll talk.